Hello everyone, welcome to my sketchbook tour. If you haven't seen my previous video, I did a sketchbook tour a couple of months ago, so make sure to check it out. This sketchbook is a continuation of my first sketchbook, which I started in the middle of 2017. Since then, this sketchbook has been through quite a journey. In this video, I'll be sharing some of my favorite drawings and talking about my artistic process. So grab a cup of coffee and let's dive in. Let me share with you a little story about this sketchbook. A few years ago, I was carrying my finished sketchbook in the bag along with a jar of glue that I needed to bring to the office. Little did I know that the glue wasn't properly sealed and it spilled all over my bag. My heart almost stopped when I saw my precious sketchbook that contains my emotions and special moments of my life floating in the glue. I rushed back home to check the damage, and thankfully the drawings inside were not damaged. However, the cover was totally destroyed and some of the pages got wet and had tears. I dried the sketchbook for a few days and then started the process of recovering it. I used a thick recycled paper bag from Starbucks to cover the mess created by the glue. And I even added a pin to personalize the cover. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough paper to cover the back, so I left a stripe of the previous cover as a reminder not to make the same mistake again. You may notice that some of the pages are slightly wrinkled, but it didn't affect the artwork. This was the good lesson for me to be careful with important things and to take a good care of my precious sketchbooks. Shall we take a look inside? As I mentioned earlier, I started this sketchbook in the middle of 2017 and completed it in February 2018. That time, I was still learning how to use markers, how to blend them, and how to get nice, smooth transitions. I've pretty much designated this book for daily practices, exploring my art style, and simply having fun. All these small drawings, there are little practices of textures. I was also participating in lots of challenges on Instagram. On this page, you can see the drawings from one of those challenges. The challenge called something like a world in a jar or something like this. I don't really remember. I've dedicated 3 pages to that challenge, and I drew 3 different jars with something going inside. The whale in the jar was very popular drawing. It got so many likes and shares on Instagram, and this drawing took me so long to complete it. I've done it with Micron fine liner. It has all the tiny details and textures. These drawings were created during a course I took to learn how to draw with markers. Looking back, I can see how far I've come in my marker drawing skills, and I'm proud of the hard work and dedication I put into this sketchbook. When I first posted this drawing on Instagram, I had no idea it would become such a hit. But soon the likes and comments started pouring in. It was exciting to see so many people appreciate my art and find inspiration in it. Since then, I've noticed many other creators trying to reproduce this drawing in their own style. Some have added their own unique touches, while others have tried to replicate it. On this page, I began sketching for another art challenge. I can't quite recall its theme. However, I do remember that it took place during autumn, which inspired me to dedicate several following pages to capturing the season's essences. During this time, I focused on exploring the shapes and forms of mushrooms, herbs, and other plants, while also experimenting with my lettering style. As I flip through these pages, you can see that I was playing around with letter stamps to add some personal touches and create unique and interesting designs. It was a fun way to experiment with different techniques. On this page, I practiced drawing different kinds of nuts, such as almonds, cashews, and walnuts. And I also experimented with different lettering styles. On this page, I explored the shapes of pine cones. This subject was definitely challenging to draw, but I like to challenge myself in order to improve my skills. It's hard not to feel festive when autumn rolls around, and I wanted to capture that feeling in my sketchbook. On these pages, you will see a mix of Halloween and Thanksgiving sketches. I had a lot of fun playing with different textures and colors. I remember feeling nervous about starting this challenge focused on portrait drawing, which was quite a challenge for me because I struggled with finding the right proportions for people. I focused on studying the face and experimented with different shading techniques to create depth and dimension. I also enjoyed the process of combining markers with colored pencils to add more details and textures. And now we come to the winter section of my sketchbook. This is my favorite topic to draw. Winter is such a magical time of the year, and it's always been my favorite season to draw. There is something about the snow, the cozy atmosphere, and the holiday spirit that inspire me to pick up my markers and start creating. One of the best things about Christmas sketching is the variety of subjects to draw. You can draw everything from traditional holiday scenes like Christmas trees, wreaths, and stockings to delicious and yummy Christmas food. The drawing process always helps me unwind and distress during the busy holiday season. This artwork was commissioned by a cosmetic or pharmacy brand, and the drawing on this site was part of a challenge where I not only practiced drawing foil balloons but also experimented with creating a realistic gold texture. These two drawings are commissioned artworks created for printing on Valentine's Day cards. It seems that spring has arrived, and it's interesting to know that my sketchbook has taken us through all 4 seasons. These two drawings are spontaneous sketches of some delightful sweet treats. In this sketch, I challenged myself to draw a robe and replicate all the intricate shadows and highlights to portray its volume and texture as realistically as possible. And the final sketch of this sketchbook, Dragon Fruit. This page was damaged the most by the glue. And that's it, another sketchbook filled with tons of drawings. Finishing a sketchbook always brings a beautiful feeling of happiness and pride. Thank you for joining me and watching as I share this little piece of my heart and life with you.